With the 2024 Notre Dame men's lacrosse team is loaded and looking to continue to build on an historic run that began in 2023. Augusta National in about 6 weeks. I'm Chris Cotter. Quint, first big test for Notre Dame today in their defense. Georgetown, 5-time reigning Big East champions, come to town.
I tell you, the Irish, for as good as they were last year, they may be better in 2024. This offense specifically is, as you said, loaded.
And scary, and one of the big reasons why they're scary is because the Kavanaugh brothers, who became legends last year in South Bend, are back.
That's Chris on the left and Pat on the right, the Kavanaugh brothers. Their attributes embody Notre Dame lacrosse. Competitive excellence, a willingness to scrap, playing with emotion. Pat's the passer, Chris is the scorer, both supremely talented, and they take no plays off. Not a second, not a moment. They compete for every blade of grass. And when they're on, the Irish are eating family style.
Take a look at the numbers for the Kavanaugh brothers in 2 games already this year, and this is a situation where the Irish have blown out their first 2 opponents, so the minutes haven't even necessarily been there for Pat and Chris. Expect to see them play a full game today because Georgetown's going to give them a test. And when you think about the Hoyas, Kevin Warren, he's had to move some pieces around this year. One of them, All-American midfielder Graham Bundy, now an attackman.
Fifth-year senior out of St. Louis, just a natural goal scorer. What stands out about Graham? He can rip it. I mean, this guy is a pro-level shooter, varied release points, supersonic velocity. He's a high-volume shooter, but, man, watching him in warm-ups today, in person, woohoo! I want no part of his high heat.
Georgetown comes into this game 1 win and 2 losses. Their opener against Loyola was a disaster, but they've gotten much better in each of the last 2 games, including a win at Penn last time out. Will Lynch will take the draw against James Ball, first-year man after transferring in from Yale in the offseason, and we're underway from Arlotta. Ball wins the initial draw. Now he's in trouble, though, and this is quintessential Notre Dame. Defending after the draw was won. And it looks like we're going to get a loose ball push, and it's going to go back to the Irish.
Face-off stats would say that Notre Dame last year was well below 50%. The reality is that they scrap, they hustle, they generate turnovers. Their attack will jump down and ride like banshees.
Chris Kavanaugh, 50. Pat, 51. They'll be joined on the attack by the veteran Jake Taylor out of Denver, Colorado. A little bit of a new look in the midfield, including this young man right here, Jordan Faison, MVP of the Sun Bowl for the football team last year. Now playing lacrosse in midfield for the Irish. Dobson gets his left hand loose, and it's steered aside. Kavanaugh shoots off the pipe. Gets it right back, though, skillfully, and gets it to his brother, Pat. Fresh 60 seconds to shoot for Notre Dame. Shot clock, as you know, when you first get possession is 80 seconds. After a shot that either hits the goaltender or the pipe, 60 seconds. Another shot right there, steered aside by Anderson Moore. Loose, though, in front of the cage. And the riding from this Kavanaugh duo, and really the entire Notre Dame team, is unbelievable. Here's Faison, as I mentioned, wide receiver on the football team, 5 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown in the Sun Bowl last year. Anderson Moore, you love him in goal, don't you?
Freshman, limitless future, one of the best athletes at the position that I've seen in the last decade. Made a good stop on that shot from a severe angle. Got a little antsy on his outlet pass, Cotter. Didn't move his feet in the pocket, so to speak, to find the passing lane.
Turnover by the Irish. First opportunity to see Georgetown on offense, 6v6, and it's a whole new look Georgetown offense.
You think about who they lost: Tucker Dordovic, Brian Minikis, Jacob Kelly, Nicky Solomon, Declan McDermott. I can go on. Quarterfinalist a year ago, remade this roster. I think they're still a work in progress, but to me, this team could be in the playoffs come the end of the year.
Got a transfer now for Daro from Princeton. Haley, number 4, is back. He's the passer, so look for him at X. They get it over to Aiden Carroll. He's also moved to attack, 12 in blue. Was an outstanding midfielder last year along with Bundy. Here's Haley over to Bundy on the far side. Jordan Ray, they got 2 sophomores who got a lot of playing time last year, Ray and Krogan. Krogan was the Big East Freshman of the Year at midfield. Haley Again up top to Carroll, one of the team captains on this team. Shot clock at 10. Carroll got nowhere to go with it. To Haley. Got under his defender. He shoots and misses the target wide. Shot clock violation as the clock just wound down as the ball crossed the end line. Liam Ensigman, consensus All-American in net for the Irish.
Grad student now out of Chaminade, Long Island, Point Lookout. Grew up playing for the Massapequa Mud Dogs, and he has clearly found his level point.
Another turnover, though, on the clear by Notre Dame. That's 2 turnovers in 2 possessions for the Irish. That's the one area where his game has gotten a lot better. Needed to get better, isn't it, on the clear?
It has. That looked like it was a communication issue. A good start for the Hoyas here, though. You know, they defend. They're going to be really patient with the ball. They do not want to get into a track meet with this Irish team that scored more than 20 goals in both outings this year. So long possessions are in their favor. Body punches to this Notre Dame defense and just try to hang around this game. Get this game into the 3rd or 4th quarter.
Second midfield unit, including Larry Horning, now on the field for Georgetown. Beautiful trail check. That's Ben Ramsey, an All-American short stick D-midi. And look at Ensigman going in there amongst the trees to come out of there with the loose ball. Here comes Sean Light, true freshman close defender. And with his athleticism, you don't mind him running into the offensive end, do you, Q?
See how he gets out of this predicament.
Tries to get it to Chris Kavanaugh.
Nice job.
Does.
Nice job. You know, he didn't lose his poise there running on the end line, Cotter. He's able to turn the corner and flip it to space. Got a super bright future.
Both teams showing their athleticism here early on. Neither is yet to find the back of the net, though. Kavanaugh uses a pick. He's got free. Upfield shoots. That shot was deflected before it even got to the goal, and it'll go back to Georgetown.
So Notre Dame running their offense, obviously through the Kavanaughs as the primary look, heavily reliant on picks and the 2-man game behind the net.
Chris Kavanaugh knocks the pass down. Again, showing that prowess. Both the Kavanaughs outstanding on the ride. Georgetown's able to clear it, though. Ray's going to wait for reinforcements out of the substitution box.
45 in blue's got to be the guy today.
Here's Krogan. Got free momentarily. Slide comes, though, to help him out. Pass beautifully broken up.
Tell you, Donovan, 81 in white with their new funky gold numbers. He's a menace. He's a menace on the wings of face-offs. He's a menace off ball on defense. He is so skilled with that stick.
Now face on. Over to Devin McClain. McClain, the transfer from Brown. Prolific scorer, 124 points on 77 goals in his career with the Bears.
Interesting, they pull face on the freshman and put a shorty on Dobson.
Yeah, here he is, Dobson attacking that shorty. Gets pushed behind the goal, now up top. Kavanaugh to his brother. Here's Chris. Giving him that left hand, gets it back. Switches back to his right, gets it to the far side. Faison thought about taking a shot. Try to get away from the defense. Over the back, score by Jake Taylor. Out of nowhere, he scoops up the ground ball, cueing almost in one motion. BTB, Irish on top.
This is brilliant defense by Georgetown. Faison's dodge is stopped and leads to a potential turnover. But as the Georgetown Hoya players move to the ball, watch Taylor, 13 in white, just so instinctive inside. He scoops that and puts it over his shoulder in one motion. There's no hesitation here. There's no thought process. It's just smooth as silk.
That is the thing of beauty. Jake Taylor, you know, talking to Coach Corrigan about this attack line because of the injuries to Taylor over the last couple of years, to the Kavanaughs at the end of last year. They really haven't played together as much as you would think they have because they've been together for 3 years. It's just injuries have prevented them from playing fall ball together, a lot of games in the regular season together.
That ain't no pretty boy lacrosse right there.
That's relentless activity after the face-off. And the Irish, the hustle, get it back.
Kind of reminded me of the Georgetown-Virginia game at Hofstra. What was that, 2 years ago in the quarterfinals?
Right.
Physical play off the face-off.
Physical play before the face-off even started, as Coach Warren took a shot in the noggin in warm-ups before that game.
He is fired up today in his 90s look.
It's got
metallic warm-up jacket.
Satin-looking jacket like you and I used to wear in elementary school with the NFL teams on it. Guy's classic. Team's down 1 goal here early.
He's got to be happy with the team, the way this team has come off the plane and off the bus, ready to play here.
Verdaro being checked by Harris.
As we said, it's a young team. You worry about the moment. Well, the moment hasn't been too big for them.
Verdaro. Nice look inside. Carroll couldn't handle it. Back to Verdaro. Had it initially. Now he loses it. Here comes Bergmaster.
The bagpiper can scoot.
He's a jack of all trades, including playing the bagpipes when he leads the Irish onto the field for every game. Timeout on the field. Our first break of the day. The Irish have stormed out to a 1-0 lead. Georgetown, though, hanging tough on the road.
Last year about it's the team, it's their own journey. What he emphasized this week when we talked to him, we are climbers. We're going to refocus and reset and start a new climb.
That pass goes awry.
I thought that was great. We are climbers.
Talk
That's
about
what we do.
How the team can stay hungry after finally being able to climb them out. And he said, well, I got kids that like to climb. They like to keep climbing. And it was a busy offseason for this Notre Dame team, too. After they won the title, team went on a trip to Germany. You come back, a lot of the kids have summer internships and jobs. Then you got fall ball. Coach Corrigan said it was really December 1st before anybody was able to even take a breath.
Plus injuries. A lot of guys had to sit out the fall when they weren't on the McAfee show or making other public appearances.
No one's going to cry for him, though. There's a lot of good teams in college lacrosse this year want to knock them off their perch. One of them today is Georgetown, trailing by just a goal here early. Bundy. Now Bundy's got a shorty on him. Up top. Couldn't get the shot off. Now he does. And that's Caesar. Just sends it wide. Joe
Nice
Caesar,
pattern.
the sophomore from Darien.
Good pattern. Bundy gets the short. He presses the post. The angle's not there. He throws back. But how about the trail check as Caesar was trying to unleash a right-handed shot.
Still plenty of time to shoot. 25. There's a shot. Wow, that's what you were talking about all day long. Bundy can absolutely let it rip.
Yes. It's different, isn't it? It's different.
Even sounded different.
Well, I watch it on film. I haven't caught many Georgetown games, as many as you have in the last 2 or 3 years, in person. But you stand there in warm-ups and you watch him shoot, and I'm like, oh my gosh. A, I don't want to be in the goal. I'll get hurt. B, he mixes it up corner to corner, sidearm, overhand, underhand. This kid's got just a cannon, and that was a great display. He painted the corner.
King Kong Bundy, as he is known on the hilltop.
Midwestern product, St. Louis. I'm sure he's got a lot of family here.
Face-off violation, he gets ball. First of the half. Irish back on offense. Second midfield, including Riley Gray. Think about the veteran presence they have, even with the depth at midfield. Jalen Seymour, Riley Gray, Bryce Walker. These are all players who have played for years.
Riley Gray was running first midfield at times last year.
So was Walker at
Bryce
times.
Texas Walker was as well. Will Angrick 2 years ago was on first midfield before he hurt his ACL.
A lot of depth this year for Coach Corrigan to work with. That's Seymour. Now he's going to invert. A little two-man game with Chris Cavanaugh. Here's Pat. Far side with Walker. Walker will roll. Pat on the run. Save made by Moore.
Clean, too. All over that. Scoop that short hop up. He's pumped up, and the Georgetown bench. Okay, this team is ready to play off the bus. That's a question mark anytime you go into enemy territory against a heavy hitter. And then B, now they're managing this game really effectively, Chris. Long possessions on offense, holding their matchups on defense.
Ray wants to get it in the stick of Haley. Here's Haley. Operating on Marco Napolitano. Up top. Ray. Harris checking him closely. Watch out here. Bundy. Save made by Entenmann. You got a feeling that Georgetown kind of had the matchup and the look they liked offensively there, and Entenmann just robbed Bundy.
Didn't love the location of that shot. Made Entenmann's job just a little too easy, man. And he could be the best in the business, 44 and white.
Now Pat Cavanaugh behind the cage with under 4 to play in the first quarter. Like he and Taylor might work a two-man game. Taylor sets a pick. Defender slips it.
Georgetown man-to-man defense. Looks like they're coming off the crease in terms of their double team man.
Chris Cavanaugh loses his stick with the ball in it. That's going to be a whistle and a turnover.
Hoya's bench goes ballistic. Get a bungee cord on that one.
Yeah, they like what they've seen so far, holding this prolific Notre Dame offense to just one goal. Take another look.
Skewered him. I mean, he just flat out skewered him. He got the long pole, the stick between the body and the stick, and then boom, hit the eject button. Pop, the stick just pops out of the offensive player's hands.
Haley looking to come upfield. Good cut, good score. Haley feeding Chase Llewellyn, who finishes. Hoya's on top.
This is a look. If you watch film of Notre Dame from last year, they gave up 5 goals like this against Virginia. A deuces set, 2 behind, 2 men inside, and some kind of scissors cut or straight cut. And this formation yields dividends for the Hoyas today.
Yeah, that bench is fired up. You've mentioned it a couple of times already. This is a good crowd here, really good crowd today at Arlotta. Almost a packed house. Berm's got some folks on it, and yet every time Georgetown makes a play, we can hear that bench. Flag coming down, our first flag of the afternoon. This is going to be a delayed call against the Irish. This could be trouble. Scoring opportunity goes high.
Had a one more down to the lefty wing.
Verdaro thought he would fire it up, missed the target.
Well, this comes with the territory if you're Notre Dame. Your attack, they forecheck, they ride. And at times, when you'll release the ball, they come in high and late.
Oh, yes. Chris Cavanaugh.
That happens. The Cavanaughs, they skate that fine line. I love their energy. I love their compete level. But the referees are aware of stuff like that. And they got to get a feel for how that's going to be officiated this year.
So a man up for Georgetown. Bundy shoots. Doesn't get through. Stays with Georgetown, though. Bundy, another shot, this time too high, but backed up by the lefty, Cade Caggiano. He's in on the man up for Georgetown.
Defense blocks the first shot, and then Chris Conlon, 20 and white with a great closeout. Got to Bundy's hands.
There's Verdaro.
You better find 9 on the perimeter here.
Yeah, he's on that wing where he likes to camp out. Now he's straight up top. There's Verdaro. Quick ball movement. Haley was looking for a cutter, couldn't find one. Skip pass to Haley, much more of a passer than a shooter. Verdaro will shoot, though. Hits the pipe. That's going to be a fresh shot clock. Just 9 seconds on the man up for Georgetown, but they'll get a fresh 60 on that shot clock. So a long defensive possession right now for Notre Dame. Can they get the big turnover? This would be huge. As it's full strength, Bundy loses his footing, and it goes to Notre Dame. So now they can avoid that big, long defensive set on this side. And they kill a minute penalty. Unfortunately, they turn it right back. Sloppy play in the middle of the field.
Fighting Irish had their way in 2 wins so far this season. Cleveland State indoors here in Loftus. They went up to Marquette, took care of business up there. This is a different challenge. Played in the Provolone Dome. It's their first outside game now.
And not what you would expect in February. Third failed clear on that one for the Irish, so having some issues. Hoyas are going to take advantage, and they do. This time it's the transfer, Alex Verdaro. All Ivy League last year with Princeton. Now he's paying dividends with the Hoyas in Georgetown.
Explosive and versatile. Righty, lefty, he can attack you from up top, a wing. This time, he drags the player behind the net. Notre Dame is late on their slide, and now twice now, Georgetown gets the ball behind the goal against the Fighting Irish defense, and good things happen. Verdaro was a second-team All-American a year ago, taking this grad year at Georgetown, a native of Hewlett, Long Island.
75 goals and 44 starts with Princeton. I mean, he
big
was
money, man. Big money player.
Ball with the face-off win. Ball's another interesting story in terms of a transfer from the Ivies. Came from Yale, where he didn't even play last year.
And happy birthday to James Ball. I flew with the Georgetown Hoya team, and they had the PA announcer on my Southwest flight announce that it was his birthday. I'm not sure it's actually his birthday, though.
Well, they want him to play like it's his birthday and celebrate it today, and so far so good. Wild scene here. Georgetown's able to get possession. Did they get a timeout? No, they didn't. They threw it back to the middle of the field. So with time winding down, just 5 seconds left to go. Donovan's just going to have to let it fly, and it'll be picked off by the Hoyas, and the horn will sound. The Hoyas have made the trip to South Bend, Indiana, and so far, so good for Kevin Warren and his club. The 5-time defending Big East champs are up 3-1. Middle of the field, Warren looking great. That jacket, those Jordans, he's looking resplendent today.
He works it on the sideline. He's got that voice. Sometimes he sounds like a wounded walrus. Sometimes he sounds like a high-pitched bird.
Pitch perfect is what he called it, in his own words.
You know, he's got multiple screams for different situations.
Lynch won the face-off and thought about maybe firing a shot at Moore, and now he's going to sub out.
Well, Georgetown's battle-tested. This is their 4th game of the year, and they've already played Penn, Loyola, and Johns Hopkins. I think that showed a little, too. And you watch the tape, Chris, as you said, they've improved every week.
Much better. Corrigan even said as much when he said, I watched the tape of him. You can throw out the tape of the Loyola game in the opener when they were just playing terribly. And, you know, for the second year in a row, when you think about Georgetown, they've had to incorporate a lot of new players. Last year was all transfers with the Dordovics and the Minikises of the world, and they began 0-3 last year before they won 13 in a row. This year, it's a combination of transfers and a lot of freshmen, a lot of younger players playing for Georgetown. Dobson trying to get that left hand free. He hasn't been able to do it so far today.
Hoyas pressing out behind the net against Pat Cavanaugh.
Face on, showing the speed. Will we get a flag? We won't get one. Thought they might get a high hit. Instead, shot off the pipe. Notre Dame bench, Corrigan, they're apoplectic.
Taylor can make something out of nothing. And you see the trust in 13 and white. They just jam it inside. He has got incredible hand-eye coordination.
Face on, looking to attack. Still got 50 seconds to shoot because they got a new shot clock off that, bringing it off the pipe. So the Irish can be patient here. Dobson. Now he gets a step, fires. Moore up to the task. That's all Dobson needs. 8 and white, just a step, and he can let loose that lefty hammer. But Moore was up to it. Here come the Hoyas. Bundy with Bergmaster coming out of the box to defend. Now Georgetown will complete substitutions. Bundy's looking to dodge. Darrow and Ray come in.
Ray had a big day against Loyola. A lot of successful ISOs from up top. 45 in blue. He can really move.
7 goals on the year. Krogan. Behind the net, nice catch by Haley. Back up top to Bundy. Pass all the way over to the far side for Darrow. Carroll's got a shorty on him. He wants to take advantage. Shot. Intimate. Wasn't going to let that get past him.
Got to take the extra step to greatness. John Hogan, the offensive coordinator, goes back to that single invert with a high crease, trying to give him a lot of space. But Endeman shuts the door.
Seymour. Here comes Gray. We were talking about some of the Notre Dame assistants before the game, and Q talking about this second midfield line and Gray's experience. He shoots, bounces it high, and Seymour, the type of player he can be. 26 in white.
Riley Gray, 6'4", grad student from Long Island. Certain calmness. He scored, 16 goals last year? Jalen Seymour, a junior now at 6'4". Loads of potential. I mean, 26 in white. He's on the cusp of being great.
Kavanaugh slide had to come, and it does brilliantly. Ty Banks, the freshman. Now Chris Kavanaugh comes out of there with it. Look at that skill to keep possession and to get it to Walker. That's great lacrosse. That's sequence right there.
Gritty grounder by Chris Kavanaugh.
Oh, another beautiful play by Jake Taylor. Take us through this entire sequence, Q.
I mean, you talk about a terrific defensive play by Ty Banks right there. The double team, ball on the carpet. But watch 50 and 51. The Kavanaugh brothers. Scrap, scrap, scrap. Keep scrapping, keep fighting, keep trying. Okay, what's the result? Well, and what's the equation? The equation is Jake Taylor, the magic man inside.
Effortless.
Spinorama, little head and shoulder fake where he looks down low. Anderson Moore buys the fake here on a Sunday, and he puts that top shelf. Makes it look so smooth, doesn't he?
The other thing, too, you mentioned it before, just it's so instinctive. There's no thought process at all.
Jake Taylor, Denver, Colorado, 2 years ago had 8 goals against Syracuse.
After he'd been injured. That was his first game coming back.
He's dealt with multiple ACL injuries, and it's a symbiotic relationship with the Kavanaughs. He makes them better, they make him better.
And the one thing Corrigan said, too, with those three is they can all do a little bit of everything. Some of them are better at one thing than the other thing, but they can all do it all. And so if one is having a bad day or not up to it, the others pick them up. Dobson finds a cutter inside. The initial save, but then the finish. Devin McLean gets the goal for the Irish. We're all tied at 3. There's a lot going on in front of Anderson Moore.
I was going to say, the game is moving fast. And while this isn't pretty, it shows you how dangerous Notre Dame is. When things go awry, rebound, boom, McLean's right there. When you drop the ball inside, boom, Jake Taylor is there. Like, you give him a crack, and they're going to capitalize. Look at that finish to the near pipe. I mean, you talk about skill. He's got about a 3-inch window between Anderson Moore's left hip and the post.
Yeah, and Moore made a fantastic initial save.
McLean, a graduate transfer from Brown. He's one of 10 graduate students in the Notre Dame 2 deep. This is as veteran a team as only compares to like Duke. Notre Dame's like the new Duke with all these fifth-year players.
3 straight face-off wins for the Irish to start this second quarter. As McLean doesn't want to go offside, so he waits. And now we're 6v6 with face-on.
You mentioned Georgetown losing Will Bowen, who plays in the PLL. James Donaldson was a great cover man. So it's young down below, but veteran at the defensive midfield position. And that's where they're really good. Will Godine, Jack Leary, Dylan Hess with that caused turnover.
Yeah, Dylan Hess with a great play.
It's a point of strength, midfield defense.
Throw in Wally Halpert on pole, and that rope unit, one of the strength. Both of these teams have very strong rope units.
A defense is only as good as its weakest link, Cotter. And if you got some shorties, defensive midfielders who can't hold up their bargain, they're going to get picked on, and everyone else is going to be compromised.
But you mentioned Bowen and Donaldson. You have Will Timinovich, who's here in sweats on the sideline. He's injured, got an injured arm, and he cast. So the three close defenders for Georgetown in their quarterfinal run last year are all out of this lineup this year. Okay, Bundy's got a shorty on him. You can see Notre Dame is showing. And a lot of help.
Notre Dame's good at that. They want to be sticky inside, that's sticky to their man, and they want to show that is kind of fake double team. The goal is not to get caught in nowhere land, halfway. Should I stay or should I go now?
Henseman saw that one the entire way. Two teams settling into a good, entertaining lacrosse game, knotted up at 3 apiece. And now the Irish will go 6v6 with Walker. And they'll check in Riley Gray and Seymour. The defender left Walker initially. Kavanaugh, always defender slips. Now he's got the advantage.
Who's got a better second midfield than this group?
And that's why they get a lot of playing time. Here's Gray. Back to Kavanaugh.
Matchup now.
Yeah, they had the big little. Now he's on the short stick once again.
Georgetown going into their invert zone.
Good pass. His brother tried the twister and just shot it over the top. 14 to shoot for the Irish. Ty Banks, the freshman, back on Kavanaugh. Walker takes one step to the middle of the field, shoots the bouncer, and Moore makes the stop. And a great outlet pass.
Trailer maybe here. Georgetown's going to elect to slow it down. How about Anderson Moore? Freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. Played club ball by you, Cotter. He played in Atlanta.
Yeah, Thunder, big club there in Atlanta.
So he would drive on I-20. What is that, 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
2.5 from Birmingham, maybe a little bit more, 240. Haley uses a pick. Verdaro couldn't get the shot he wanted. Now Carroll up to Bundy. He's got room.
Sharing the ball well, Georgetown. They're playing connected on offense.
And being patient. Carroll trying to get it back to his right into the middle of the field. Nothing there. Bundy back around. Haley still got 20 to shoot. Haley looking to feed on Walker. He's got an offensive player out there on him, 5 and white. Verdaro now down to 6 to shoot. Verdaro got to get something quickly. And they're not going to get his shot off. So patience for Georgetown offensively, but even better defense for Notre Dame.
Kevin Warren whispering to offensive coordinator John Hogan.
Although Warren did tell us this week, he said, it's not the worst offensive possession to take all 80 or 60 seconds off the clock, as long as you don't give Notre Dame something quick in transition on the other end.
60-second possession is okay. It's a Georgetown team. They beat Notre Dame here in 2022. Different kind of day. It was like 17 degrees out. Owen McElroy, the Hoya goalie, made 24 stops.
That's ridiculous.
It's a good rivalry these two like universities have.
Dobson Swish it to his left hand. Are we going to get a push in the back? No, we got a crease violation instead on Dobson.
Nice look by Moore, the young goalie, whistle ready.
Freshman gets rid of it.
Banks is going to be a star. You got two young freshmen in this game, defenders, starting for name programs. Sean Light, 90 for Notre Dame. You see him right now. He's covering the ball, the big righty, and then 17 for Georgetown, Ty Banks.
Second midfield unit on for the Hoyas. Krogan is out there, along with Llewellyn, who had a goal earlier in the game. That's 8 in blue. Krogan thought about going his way, now instead behind the cage.
Irish pack it in on defense. They're really, really inviting the outside shot.
Well, here's Bundy. Bergmaster all over him. There's Caesar. The skip pass. Krogan opted not to take the shot. Again, another very patient offensive possession by Georgetown, but making no inroads yet. Bouncer inside and a score! Llewellyn did a hell of a job just picking up that pass. And has a few words for Liam Entenmann.
This is an amazing catch. Chase Llewellyn, senior from Loyola in Baltimore, multi-sport in high school. He's been dealing with injuries, and how does he skip that up, man? He takes that short hop and puts it by Entenmann. Watch this catch one more time. Terrific hand-eye coordination.
Now we're 3-4 weeks into the lacrosse season, Q. ACC, no surprise, top 3 teams in the Inside Lacrosse media poll. 3 juggernauts there. And how about the day for Matt Brandow yesterday?
He had 10 points. That was a midweeker. He had 10 points at halftime. So next thing you know, I tried to watch it. There was no web stream. And congratulations to Coach Wolf and the Highlanders of New Jersey Institute right now, 5-0.
Awesome.
Remember, this is a program that they may have won 5 games in the last decade combined. So a huge turnaround. But one thing about
also unbeaten.
Watching those games, like this upcoming week is the best televised lacrosse in the history of the game. Tuesday game, Towson Loyola. Wednesday, Syracuse Army. Thursday, monster women's game, BC and Northwestern. Friday, ACC action, Duke and Carolina.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, I've never seen a week like this.
Right, it's going to be
week.
Great week early on in the year. It's going to be a little bit of a separation week to see who's as teams now, or everyone's going to be playing good teams.
You're back here next week. I've got Hopkins at Virginia on Saturday.
Right. Yeah, we'll be here with Maryland and Notre Dame next Sunday. There you go, noon on ESPNU. Clark will be here with me next week.
Love the Sunday time slot, standalone game.
Love it. Bundy, double team comes. So Ray is open. Now the extra pass. Verdaro gets a little bit free.
Oh!
Shot was deflected, though. Notre Dame's doing such a great job of
everything but the finish. Notre Dame's double teams and approaches.
Closing out.
They take the right angles, and they impact shooters or passers. They get to your hands.
It looks like Georgetown's going to have a great opportunity, and then that window closes in record speed. Caesar got under his defender, but loses his footing. Now gets it back, has an angle, shoots high. He's disappointed with himself. He didn't get that shot on target.
Caesar had a strong scrimmage against Maryland, sophomore from Connecticut. Good wheels, good skills. Sharpened his trade last year on the scout team.
Skip to Bundy, shoots. Man, that is a rocket, and Entenmann covers it up. We had a great angle on that shot from the booth here. Straight on.
That's the type of save that sends a message to Bundy. Not today. You're going to have to get a little closer if you expect to find the net. And if you're Bundy, you got to make the adjustment. I can't beat him with my high heat from 16. Maybe at 14 or 13, yes, but from that distance, he's got to change levels or use the earth.
Double team comes, closing the door on Seymour. Now we'll get to the far side to Gray. Chris Cavanaugh. Here's Walker. You just heard Kevin Warren yelling and screaming. Gray back to his left, a little bit of room. Nice pass inside. Walker, bounce shot goes high. 17 seconds. Let's reset the shot clock here to 60. Yeah, they gave it.
They gave him a reset. Why?
Warren can't believe it. He wants an explanation.
We got blood on a Georgetown player's leg, and that's why the stoppage. But I didn't think that was a save. If it was terrific. If you're Anderson Moore, you're working the officials right now saying, that didn't hit me.
Yeah, Leary's going to have to come out and get some work done. Now another whistle. Coach Warren wants a timeout. He is hot. Under 2 minutes left to play in this first half. His Hoyas up 4-3.
Obviously, when you're not a big guy, speed is your ally. And that's eye speed, hand speed, and foot speed.
Fresh 60 for the Irish on the shot clock. Minute 45 left to go in the first half. Face on. Dobson. He really wants to get that left hand free. Help comes, doesn't let him do it. Skip past the face on. Nice catch. He shoots wide.
Wallace Halpert, nice close out there. Wally got a stick under the gloves.
So this extended defensive possession here for Georgetown because of the unfortunate call on the shot clock continues. Now we get a whistle here, and it's going to be in the crease. Going to go against the Irish. So the Hoyas, ball don't lie, they get it back. And a chance to strike here in the waning moments of this first half.
I think Coach Warren wants to call timeout. He's directing his player in the box.
That's what he wants. He's going to get it here with Ferdaro. Now he gets the timeout. So good. He is so animated.
What has happened to lacrosse players?
I love that when you first told me that, I thought, I wonder what it was like traveling with Hopkins back in the 80s with you guys. Okay, final minute of play here from our lot in the first half. Hoyas up by a goal over the defending national champs. First test of the year, really, for Notre Dame. And the Hoyas have been up to the task here on the road. Bundy's going to let some time roll off. It's about a 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Don't want to leave Notre Dame with a lot of time, but they want to get a good scoring opportunity. Haley. 20 to shoot. Carroll over to Bundy. He's got room. Steps down. Ooh. Hits a defender. You heard that thud.
Is that Ben Ramsey?
10 seconds now for Georgetown to shoot. Bundy steps into that one and fires it over the top. Just 2 to shoot. Hoyas would be best to just roll this one into the corner. And that is exactly what they'll do to set up the ride.
Stay awake now if you're a defender. The long bomb to the Kavanaughs can be dangerous. You want to stay ball side, top side, and take arms.
Long shot off target. Bodies fall in front. Horn sounds. No harm done. Jake Taylor with a good first half with a couple of goals. Both of them sensational goals. Chase Llewellyn, second team midfielder for Georgetown with 2 goals. And really of note, the Kavanaughs have been shut out in the first half here, Q.
Georgetown's come in with energy, a plan. They've been really structured and really disciplined. Gosh, this is a program that's improved dramatically in the first.
Good face-off battle as well all day long, and it continues here in the second half as Will Lynch and James Ball will step back in. Ball with the slight advantage, 5-4 in that first half. Lynch has gotten the better of him recently, though. That's 4 in a row for Lynch, all of them cleanly to himself.
Lynch was about 50% in 2023. Now a junior, Rockville Center, Long Island, town my mom grew up in.
Let's see what adjustments both of these teams make. I think, and first and foremost, we'll see Notre Dame on offense. Pat Cavanaugh looking to get free. Now over to McLean. Face on. Push behind the goal to Chris Cavanaugh. Not the shorty matchup Georgetown is good to show and go. McLean. Up top to Pat. Inside to his brother. Can't handle the pass. Just been a little off all day long.
Hoyas are winning the matchup at the point of contact. They've navigated through picks really well. This is what Moore. That's what Moore can do for you right there. That's where he's a little bit different. Little Jimmy Beardmore in his game. He can go coast to coast. He could run a shift at midfield if you needed him to.
Krogan back on, and he'll be joined by Bundy now coming out of the box. And a full head of steam for Bundy. Watch out here. He opts not to shoot it. That surprised me a little bit. Down the alley. Haley looking to dodge from X.
Out of respect for Entenmann, he kicked that one behind.
Krogan. Now the help comes over to the far side, and Carroll. Carroll gets bumped GLE. Now back to his right hand. Under the defender. Can't get a good angle, though. Battle for the loose ball. Verdano thought he had it. Shot clock inside of 5. Bundy's going to have to let it go. Has absolutely no angle. Violation. It's a few of those we've seen today from Georgetown.
They're fine with it. Nice defense by Notre Dame. In the throwback, they threw it inside. The double team was there. Had he lobbed that or skipped that over the formation, they might have gotten a step down. But Notre Dame, they play all 6 guys like gears. You know, they operate together. This great connectivity of this Notre Dame defense.
Seymour. Taylor's way up top now. They get it to Gray now far side to Walker.
Kavanaugh is spending more time on top of the formation.
Got under his defender, though, and just misfires.
So that's an adjustment at halftime by Chris Wojcik, the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, who's done terrific work the last 2 years. If you don't like the way things are going at halftime, well, move the Kavanaughs.
Gray tries to attack that defense. Ball gets knocked away. And that's a turnover, unfortunate.
This is
now
trouble right here.
Yeah, Pat
this is danger.
Wants to put
Major
it in play
danger.
Quickly. Seymour with the left, tough angle. Moore once again up to it.
Love the grounder by Wesley Chairs, using the goalie, and then immediately Moore, find the shorty. Find your midfielder who can punt, return, clear. He's going to sit down for you. You keep it simple. Get the ball to the guys who can run it out.
Caesar's going to try and use a pick. Defender slips it. Caesar's got his outlet, and Cade Goldberg, 6 in blue. Carroll, change of direction, nothing doing. Here's Bundy. Will he take it upon himself? Shoulder down, no angle. Cut off beautifully that time by Light, the freshman.
I'd love to see him go back to that 2-2-2 set. 2 behind, 2 on the crease.
Good look inside, and it ends up being a goal. Goldberg found the cutter in front, and the bench erupts. It's a 2-goal advantage for the Hoyas.
Starts with defense. Shot off the side, good rebound control. Turn away from pressure, use your goalie as the access man behind the net, and then clear up the far side of the field. On the other side, Cotter, I think the success for Georgetown's got to start from behind the goal with either a single or double invert and then you beat you beat Notre Dame with cuts and off-ball play. Bundy from Goldberg, and I believe that was Cade's first shift of the game.
Yeah, he played one other shift earlier in the day. I didn't know how much I would expect to see 6 and blue play, but he's already making that decision by Kevin Warren and his staff pay off with the assist to Bundy. It's a 2-goal advantage for the Hoyas. Donovan wins the ground ball, but can't get it quickly to Kavanaugh. That's something you mentioned at the half. They aren't getting these quick goals.
Helter-skelter. The Kavanaughs thrive in the unscripted portions of the game, whether it's ground ball scraps, extra man, transition off of face-offs. And this game's been played like the British wanted to fight the Revolutionary War, standing in lines and shooting at each other.
Dot inside. Oh, wow. Dobson inside with his right. Found McLean wide open. And he easily beats Moore on the turn and rake.
Terrific crowd here. Dobson swims, draws the eyes of the defense, and you see when you go halfway, you got problems. Because halfway means you're not doing either. You're not double teaming Dobson, and you've left a man. You see, you step up field, you can't leave that man without having the second slide behind you. They work in tandem, Cotter. They work in tandem together. One guy goes, the other's got to follow defensively.
Didn't work on that play, and Devin McLean was wide open. Gets us back to a 1-goal deficit for the Irish. Lynch puts it forward to himself. Parlett will wait for Dobson and Faison to come on.
To these fans, both benches, great spirit and enthusiasm today.
Good crowd on the berm on the far side. They've gotten the snow out of the way. Faison, look at that move back to his left. Oh boy, that was a highlight reel goal if he could have buried it.
you see the separation quickness that is of college football proportions. This kid played slot receiver last year, and by the end of the year, he was Notre Dame's best receiver.
Now Dobson gets the left free. Everybody here in attendance knew it was just a matter of time before the lefty hammer was unleashed.
This thing is liquid smoke on the run from 15, improving his angle to the middle of the field. Power. He's not even running towards the net. Left-hander from Fleming Island, Florida. A huge Florida Gator and Tim Tebow fan growing up. That's as pretty as it gets.
Ball tracks it down. Now he's in trouble.
Momentum is clearly changed here. Fans on their feet. Notre Dame looking like Notre Dame.
Four straight possessions off the faceoff for the Irish to start this second half. It has helped them to regain the momentum and to knock this game at 5 apiece.
Good clear by Conlon, 20 and white. Graduate. Took an investment banking job this fall. Actually comes back to campus to wrap up his eligibility.
Walker. Nowhere to go with it. Gets it to Pat. Nice catch. Now Pat's got a shorty on him. Got to take advantage of this. See the stutter step? And you see Georgetown showing. Quick shot. Goes wide. 26 seconds on the shot clock as we near the midpoint of this third quarter. Chris Kavanaugh to put it into play. Race won by Georgetown when it goes out of bounds. Turnover on possession. Notre Dame has outshot Georgetown 7-1 in this third quarter.
Face-offs.
Verdaro looking to clear. Got to get it across in the next 5 seconds. They just do it. 60 seconds. When the shot clock hits 60 seconds, that ball's got to be across midfield. So now Georgetown on 6v6, looking to regain some of that momentum and the lead. Bundy buried their only shot here in this third quarter. Krogan looking to dodge. Haley, 20 seconds to shoot. Got the short stick midi on him now, and Harris. Shoots, tough angle, stays with Georgetown. 11 to shoot.
Notre Dame's defense, that one of their signatures, they protect the middle, they protect the paint. They keep you off on the fringes and the edges and let Entenmann gobble up those weak angle shots.
Krogan shoots, scores! That's a big goal for Georgetown with the shot clock down to 2 seconds.
This is an incredibly sudden move from the Big East Rookie of the Year. Watch him on the wing. Chop, 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 takes it underneath. Double team is late. And he finds the net. Huge goal, giving the Hoyas a 6-5 lead. Patrick Krogan.
(6-5) Georgetown on top. 6:25 left to go in the third quarter. Chris Cotter and Quinn Kesnick with you. We've been talking about the week that is to come in college lacrosse. How about this Friday night doubleheader? Duke hosting Penn at 6 o'clock. Then Princeton squares off against North Carolina. Both games on the ACC network and on the ESPN app. And then Penn and Princeton flip-flop, right, to play Duke and North Carolina on Sunday. So it's a good Friday, Sunday for all four of these teams.
You got to get a sponsor for that, Cotter, and give it a name like the Ivy ACC Challenge.
Right, that we always have in basketball and whatnot. Both those Ivy League teams are going to have to be up to that challenge.
To me, the story of this game, if you're Notre Dame, aside from the slow start and the turnovers, the Kavanaugh brothers really been taken out of the equation. Hoyas have played great man-to-man defense. They've navigated through picks, but Kavanaughs have gotten nothing in the helter-skelter portion of the sport.
A couple of opportunities to get something in that sequence, and what happens is they don't make a catch or they make an errant throw. It just hasn't been in sync like we've seen it so many times over the years.
But to their credit, they're not forcing it. It's not like they've become turnover machines, pressing for points.
Notre Dame still doing Notre Dame things in the middle of the field. Now starting to really pick up the dominance at the face-off dot and also on all the loose balls in the middle. They all seem to be going Notre Dame's way here in the second half, or most of them are. Taylor muscles his way in, gets the ball taken away from him, though.
Nice kick.
And an even nicer pickup by Lynch. This is the type of situation where the Kavanaughs can thrive. Little unsettled. Now Georgetown settles back in the hole. Chris Kavanaugh puts a shoulder into his defender. Up top to his brother Pat. Now to Dobson on the near side. Dobson going to his left, tries to feed it again to McLean. Similar play we saw moments ago. This time it's a turnover.
That's a fun matchup of two seniors. Dylan Hess, 40 in blue, matched up against Dobson. Hess apparently going to try to walk on at Florida and play football next year.
He's been a really good player for Georgetown.
Talk about athletes and impressive-looking lacrosse players.
Can be a two-way guy if need be. Saw that a lot in the last couple of years. Here's Verdaro. Now back to Aiden Carroll.
Georgetown's been so mentally tough in this game. They've stayed with their plan. They've stayed with the structure and the discipline.
Carroll is just looking to dodge from X, the other direction. Caesar, nowhere to go with it. So he'll survey from GLE. 20 seconds to shoot for Georgetown. Carroll. That shot is high. Check that was Verdaro took that shot. Now Carroll will put it into play. 14 to shoot for Georgetown. They really have extended these possessions, Q. They've taken all 60 seconds off the clock a number of times. This is going to be another one with just 8 seconds to shoot.
I thought it was notable when Kevin told us a 60-second possession is okay. We got the feeling in our discussions that they were going to try to slow this game down.
Caesar. 2 seconds to shoot. Carroll's going to have to let it fly, and he does, and he misses the target, so it's yet another shot clock violation against Georgetown. At times, and especially in the second half, we've seen Notre Dame speed things up a bit, and then Georgetown slow it down. It's an ebb and flow. Notre Dame wants to go quicker. They want more unsettled situations. Georgetown, as we've seen with all the shot clock violations, they want to slow it down. Seymour. Kavanaugh now. Taylor. Walker, a little swim dodge. He shoots. Moore makes the save. Loose ball in front. Bodies flying all over the place. Now we'll get a whistle. Crease violation.
Love that stop by Anderson Moore, the way he moved his body. Your stick is only so much. And he got a good push off and took that step. I believe that save was made with his sweatpants, his thighs.
Georgetown again, slowing it down with Goldberg. Back behind Aiden Carroll. Here's Ray. Slide comes. Now Ray's looking for help. Gets it from Carroll. Haley. He's the distributor on this team. Nice play. Stepping right in the passing zone. That's Donovan. Donovan showing his strength running with the ball in his cross.
So skillful, 81 in white. Will Donovan, whether it's off the carpet, on a face-off wing, or picking off passes.
Minute and a half left to go in this third quarter. Irish looking for the equalizer. Dobson down the alley. McLean wide. A little bit of heat on that shot. Brock Behrman, 36 in white. First opportunity we've had to see him today. Freshman out of Macedonia, Ohio. Went to high school at Salisbury.
It's a long commute.
Yeah. That would be that story you always heard from your father. I walked to school 10 miles, uphill both ways in the snow. Face on. We've seen flashes. Shoot, score! Well, now we're seeing more than just flashes.
Cause and effect. It starts with defense and Will Donovan. Stick up and in the passing lane. Clean snare, and then he runs to safety. The sophomore from Connecticut at the other end. This is one time in this game I thought Anderson Moore, the goaltender, guesses, and he thinks low. Watch him kind of sells out a little too early, drops his stick, drops his body, and Faison, the two-sport athlete, wide receiver. You see, if he just stays still there, that hits him right in the face.
Faison, recruited as a lacrosse player. Coach Corrigan showed the tape to the football program, and the football program said, oh, yeah, we'd like to have him play football for us, too. We'll put him on scholarship. So a benefit to the Notre Dame lacrosse program there.
He's going to play both. He's got that quiet confidence.
Kavanaugh loses his helmet. This is going to be a penalty against Georgetown. Now the question is, at what length will it be? Because his helmet came off, Chris Kavanaugh is going to have to go to the bench, though.
I would think that this will be multiple minutes because of direct contact with a cross-check to the neck or head area.
Let's get the call from our officials. Yeah, they'll review it to determine the severity. 1 minute initially, the call on the field. The officials, once the call is made in terms of contact to the head, they can review it, Q, and they can make a determination whether it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, or even reduce the time if they feel like it isn't as strong as they initially thought. Mark McGinnis, Josh Blaisdell, Brady Ollier, our officials today.
Yeah, the replay rollout of this rule it's partial. It doesn't exist everywhere. That's got to be. I mean, that's direct contact. Which is it flagrant? No, I think the ball carrier actually changes levels, so it's not a 3 minute. But I'd be shocked if they don't give him 2 minutes. It's within the play. I don't think it was quote-unquote dirty or intentional, but this replay rollout, it's not being used at all jurisdictions. I think the game is being over-officiated right now. See it, call it, and let's move on. I think replay review is better saved for the NCAA tournament.
There's also a lot of ambiguity in terms of what is the 1 minute, 2 minute. Let's get the call. 2 minutes, unreleasable. This is a big call in this game, Q.
It is, because this extra man unit is extremely talented. They'll bring in Jeffrey Riccardelli, 0 and white. I think they make the right call. You know, the defender in that situation's got to sit down. And like a tackler in football, you've got to get a sense for the level change of the ball carrier.
2 minutes unreleasable, meaning, and the way Will Lynch is winning faceoffs too, this could be make it take it situation for Notre Dame in a tie ball game late in the third quarter. Pat Kavanaugh up top, Dobson with the lefty hammer on the far side. McLean shoots, hits the pipe. Stays with the Irish.
Interesting to note, because the helmet came off.
Chris Kavanaugh, they let him back in. He's back in because it was, I suppose it was a penalty against. Here he comes. He's coming back in on the field without a stoppage. Now, clock is going to run down. The Irish just want to get possession going into the fourth quarter, so they let that clock run down. And we're going to the fourth quarter with Notre Dame up, all tied at 6 apiece. Drogan found the back of the net for the Hoyas. The freshman, 2-sport star face-on, countered with the Irish, 6-6. 6-6 as we start the fourth quarter here in South Bend. Georgetown, Notre Dame all knotted up. Irish will be man up for a minute and 16 seconds to start this fourth quarter. Last time Chris and Pat Kavanaugh, as you can see in their careers, went without a point, as they are right now. Goose eggs across the board for Pat. Never.
So reverse announcer jinx, because here comes some Kavanaugh points.
On the power play. Again, it's unreleasable for still almost a minute. Chris and Pat going back and forth. Chris shoots, scores! Well, there you go. First point of the afternoon for the Kavanaughs, and it puts the Irish on top.
Three set. Step in and let it go. Chris from Pat. So they both pick up a point. And now the face-off, the penalty continues with 48 seconds to go. So this is a power play face-off for Notre Dame.
Donovan scoops it up. And he loses it initially, picks it back up, has to get it in this cross of an offensive player. There's Jay Taylor. Still 30 seconds.
Mucking it up, though. The Hoyas killed about 15 seconds just by hustling.
So Richard Deli comes on, camped out on the doorstep, as you often see him, 0 and white.
This unit is lethal. Dobson, the big-time lefty shooter, near side of your screen. The two Kavanaughs on the far side.
There's Dobson, gonna let unleash it and more. Makes the stop. Now Hess and the Hoyas will look to clear it and run the rest of that clock out. They do, even strength. Limited the damage on that 2-minute unreleasable to just 1 goal.
Next goal. Always talking about that next goal. It's everything in this game.
Fedoro on Donovan. Donovan slips under the pick. Haley takes advantage of a pick. The extra step to greatness, shoots. You said it in the first half. You take that extra step to greatness, it increases your angle, and it means the tying goal, 7-7.
You've got to attack Notre Dame's defense from behind the net. The nuance of this play is that defensive midfielder Dylan Hess stays on the field. And with him, Dobson, Aiden White is there also. They just momentarily misplay that pick. Hess sets an amazing pick. I mean, it was solid as a rock. And it gave the ball carrier just enough leverage to take that extra step to greatness.
And Haley buries it, 7-7. Man, this is promising to be a big-time finish. Lynch starting to exert a little dominance in the face-off dot. It's been blow for blow here in the second half. Is it Notre Dame's chance to lay a punishing blow themselves? Maybe the floodgates will open for Chris and Pat Cavanaugh after Chris's man-up goal. He's got a matchup he likes. Jump shot. He got a flag on the play. Officials talk things over. We're going to get interference. We're going to get a push in the back. Push in the back. With possession, Q.
1-0. Push with possession.
Lacrosse is not easy to officiate, and this is one of the tougher calls. There's a push. Clearly, yes. And then you see contact with the goaltender in the goal mouth. The extension of the arms. Kavanaugh, Chris gets inside. Excellent officiating work. Coach Warren thinking about challenging that, he doesn't. Remember, the goal mouth is in this game to allow diving, but also to protect the goalie.
Yep. So Will Godin sits for 30 seconds. Another man-up chance for Notre Dame. Inside Taylor, now to Dobson. Ricciardelli.
Keep him on the perimeter. Nothing gets through the defense. No skip passes.
Dobson fires off the pipe. And it comes right out to Godin, who ran right
Still
by
a
it.
shot.
Yep, it's still going to be Georgetown ball. Closest to it when it went out of bounds. Bundy wants to go quickly. He's got a man on the far side. Oh! Right into the cross of Ensiman and Wally Halpert. Irish back the other way. Moore makes the save and a flag.
This save, this kick save is something else.
I think we could have a similar call here, Q.
Blue flag. Who's with possession? 30-second technical.
I tell you, this flurry, if you're a young defender or long pole, you need to continue to work on your shooting. Entenmann sees it, not only makes the save, but then has transitioned the other way. That could have been worse than a push.
Yeah,
it was kind of up high,
right?
But a brilliant save by Moore, freshman from Alabama.
Might have to make some more here. Another man up for the Irish. This is taxing this man down unit for the Hoyas. Pass, Ricciardelli makes a couple of moves and scores. That's his spot, isn't it, Q? Right on the doorstep.
You know, they've got two guys in Ricciardelli and Jake Taylor who can play the inside, the hub position. Watch out, Taylor. He's got three guys on him. He's just playing in slow motion. Jake Taylor's played an incredible game. Puts that ball right on the stick, dip and dunk, turn and rake. Too many penalties for Georgetown.
Three in the last 5 minutes of game time, Q. And it's led to two man-up goals, enabling the Irish to forge this slim one-goal lead.
I think penalties, Chris, are a bigger story now with multi-minute unreleasables being more commonplace.
Right.
We saw yesterday, Denver scored 5 extra man goals in their win. North Carolina against Hopkins had a 6-on-3 advantage and didn't score.
And then the momentum goes the other way when you don't score.
You better be investing time in your specialty units.
Another middle of the field push in the back that went against Georgetown, but they got the ball back. Or I should say went against Notre Dame.
I mean, back in the day, no one ever got a non-releasable. It was really rare. Now they're happening in every game.
Ray shoots. Wow. Kevin Warren is animated out there.
Well, he knows the way the penalty scenario has shaken out here.
Krogan. And tried to get that right hand free, just couldn't quite do it. Parlett was all over him. Now Ray lowers his shoulder into a defender. Nothing doing there either. Georgetown will spin it around. Still plenty of time on this shot clock at 35 seconds, so no reason for Carroll to hurry. Spins back, shoots and scores!
Get the ball behind the net and great things happen. Captain out of Boston, now a senior, scored an identical goal on an inside roll against Penn. Post up, turn, protect your stick, get a feel for what the goalie's doing, and he goes 5-hole. Again, watch it. Project your stick. You keep that in your strong right hand. And by the time the coma slide tries to come underneath, he's gained inside leverage.
Back to 8-all. Lynch continuing to battle. Now Matthew Riley taking draws for Georgetown.
Lynch, his success in the second half, and Georgetown penalties kept Notre Dame in this game.
Yeah, giving them the momentum. And they've been able to hold it. Face on with a goal earlier. He's going to use a pick. Showing that quickness, loses his footing though. We're going to get a flag. That's going to go against Georgetown again. Flags are really hurting the Hoyas here in this second half, particularly early on here in the fourth quarter.
Faison has dynamic quickness, separation quickness. In fact, I spoke to Notre Dame quarterback Sam Hartman at the Senior Bowl, and I said, what do you think about Jordan? He said, by the end of the year, he was our best receiver.
Oh, wow. That's
our best
something.
receiver, uncoverable in the slot off of press coverage. And you see how those skills now correlate or translate on the lacrosse field.
Yeah, MVP of the Sun Bowl for the football team, had 5 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown in that game, and the revelation of the Sun Bowl. And once again, the Irish man up. 2 goals already on the game. One of them from 50. Chris Kavanaugh, Matt Kavanaugh inside. Ricciardelli scores his second. On a beautiful feed from Pat Kavanaugh.
Third power play goal of the quarter. Georgetown sitting around like a bunch of bowling pins, okay? You're in the right place, but you're not doing much. At some point, when you're playing an offense as skilled as Notre Dame, you've got to impact ball carriers. You've got to change vision lanes. You got to make them uncomfortable. And so they sit back, and Notre Dame's clearly got a feel for what they want to see. Kavanaugh with a beautiful assist to Ricciardelli.
Violation against Riley.
So you can shut off a Kavanaugh, and that'll cause 10 seconds of chaos, so they have to reset. You can press out and do a hard rotation, and that changes the feel on the perimeter. Notre Dame's just way too comfortable.
Irish back on top by a goal with Faison. Again, coming off a pick from Dobson. Back behind to Pat Kavanaugh. Dobson. Here's McLean. Try to take advantage of a little traffic in front. Pat wants a pick. Comes upfield, doesn't get it. Dobson tried to skip past to a whole lot of traffic. Yes, good ground ball in the middle of the field. Will Georgetown look to attack early? Bundy. He's just itching to go to the goal. Llewellyn's had a good game, a couple of goals for 8 and blue. Just past the midway point of this fourth quarter. Carroll. Donovan didn't let him get by him. .30 to shoot for Haley. Nothing for Verdaro. Nothing's coming easy at all for Georgetown. Haley, he shoots, bounces it high. Caesar gives chase, it'll stay with the Hoyas, 13 to shoot. Slide comes, that leaves Verdaro open, but Entenmann is there.
Body stop. His best of the day. It was a great look by Georgetown.
Verdaro's stick broken too as well. Here comes Seymour and the Irish up a goal with the momentum. Clock ticking down now, 6 minutes left to go and change here in this fourth quarter. Here's Gray. He loses it.
Oh,
big
gosh.
hit. Kavanaugh put his body on the line. Now we get a flag as Kavanaugh comes out of there with it. This is going to go against the Irish.
Tell you, a Georgetown player was falling to the carpet and he got hit. That was ugly and unfortunate.
That might have been Hess that took the brunt of that hit. We'll take a look at this call, let you know what the officials decide when we come back. 9-8, Irish on top. 5:50 left to go in this game. Here's a look at it. Wow, that is a big hit from Chris Kavanaugh. Irish lead by a goal here in the fourth quarter, but Georgetown's going to go man up for 2 minutes, unreleasable, as Chris Kavanaugh is going to sit in the box, and the officials took a look at this play and decided 2 minutes unreleasable was the call.
Wow.
That is a big hit.
Direct contact to the head or neck area. That's scary. To the defense of the hitter, there's a little bit of a trip going on there, and the level of the ball carrier does change.
Yeah,
but
Will Godin took that hit.
I mean, there's a finish there. Direct contact. The Kavanaughs are not choir boys, I'll tell you that much, man. They will scrap and live on the fringe. That's their second penalty in this game.
Yeah, Chris wanted to get a better look at it from the replay iPad. If you're just joining us right now, man, this has been a game. 7 different goal scorers for Georgetown. Kavanaughs were shut out through 3. They've picked things up here in the fourth quarter with a goal and a couple of assists. Georgetown took way too many penalties, and it ended up coming to bite them. 3 man-up goals in the game for Notre Dame. Now they have an opportunity to get at least one back here. It's 2 minutes unreleasable late in the fourth quarter for the Hoyas.
Bundy's got to be your guy from distance here, 9 and blue.
To the far side. That's Verdaro. Skip pass over to Haley. You got Bundy on the far side, sees him. He didn't pull the trigger. Wanted to get a little bit of a better shot. Wasn't able to get there. Now they'll kind of reset it. Bundy inside. That pays off, and a flag to boot. Caggiano, the left-handed man-up specialist for the Hoyas, scores the goal. And let's get an idea of the officials, what this call is going to be. Another contact to the head call against Notre Dame that they will review. Let's see where it is here.
Skip pass by Bundy through sticks. One touch by Caggiano, the junior from Charlotte, who plays on this extra man unit. Georgetown doesn't have a giant stable of left-handed players. They take another look at it. Look, review wasn't meant to make the calls. Review was meant to look at calls you were unsure about. That's direct contact to the head or neck area. That should be 2 minutes non-releasable. Like, I see it in college wrestling where some officials now slow play calls because they know they can go to review to get it right. And I don't want lacrosse to go there because these games are going to go 2.5, 2:45, or 3 hours. See it, make the call on the field.
Yeah, this call,
Review
the
should
call
not be a
against Chris
crutch.
Kavanaugh,
Should not be a crutch.
indisputable to the naked eye.
Why we'd have officials then? You'd have someone in.
(9-9) now, tie game. Donovan will have to sit.
Direct contact, that's going to be a 2-minute violation. Completely agree with it. Somewhere along the line, defenders are going to have to learn that sliding in a cross-check motion is going to have, you'll end up having a seat in the penalty box.
Now Coach Corrigan is out almost to the face-off dot to get a full explanation of what's going on. Georgetown's going to be up 2 men for 1 minute and 3 seconds.
And then an additional man, correct, and that continues for 2 minutes.
Man, an additional man up for 1 minute. So up 2 men for 1 minute and 3, unreleasable.
Yes, now the defensive formation here with 4 is a box or a diamond. Defensively, you got to find 9 in blue. You want someone else shooting, not Bundy.
Like Verdaro there.
Offensively, you want to put someone in the middle of their defensive formation.
Verdaro, you got Bundy on the near side. And Ray's in the middle. Skip to the far side, nothing there. Again, Ray bouncing in the middle of that box. Here's Carroll. Bundy steps down, passes it. Bundy up top. Back over to Haley. Verdaro, he shoots. And Entenmann was sitting on it. Big save by Entenmann.
Spectacular defense by Notre Dame. Keep him on the perimeter.
Now Entenmann on the run. Says, more, whatever you can do, I can do better.
They're
But is he offside?
Notre Dame's offsides. Notre Dame is offsides.
And we got no flag. The Georgetown bench is going bananas. Are they getting it now? Now they're giving it, I guess they're giving it to him.
Remember, Notre Dame was, at the time, 2 men down. Entenmann makes the right play. It's not his responsibility to be onside.
Yep. I think Notre Dame tried to call a timeout, and it wasn't given to them.
6 on 5 now. Great job by the Notre Dame defense when they were down 2, Cotter.
Right.
The way they boxed it up, kept them on the perimeter.
At the very least, that Entenmann save and then clear ended up killing a lot of clock. Good pass inside. Carroll scores! That was incredible body control from Aiden Carroll.
Fifth extra man goal in this game, either team in this fourth quarter alone. That's a skip pass, sensational. Little look away variation. Haley, who had nearly 50 assists as a freshman, now he's a wily vet. Lefty finds Carroll. That's twice in this game. We've seen incredible dexterity on skip passes.
And Georgetown still man up for 17 seconds, and this goal is being reviewed. They're going to review a foot on the crease or landing in the goal mouth, and I don't believe on that replay that Carroll's foot was in the crease before he went airborne. Under 4 minutes in the game, the replay is at the sole discretion of the officials. Those red flags that the coaches can throw on the field have been rendered meaningless. It's all up to the officials, and the officials have wanted to take another look at this. First thing first, look at Aiden Carroll's feet on the crease. The outside white circle. No, not on the crease. Does he land in the goal mouth? I don't believe he did, Q, in real time. That's the inside semicircle, the ice cream cone. No.
Goal should stand. They got it right the first time. Goal should stand. Outside, outside, ball crosses line. He lands in crease, out of goal mouth. Goal is good.
You see Entman right there pointing at the crease, but that replay clearly showed neither his left or right foot was in the crease.
I got Carroll now for 2 fourth quarter goals.
Here's the new video review scenarios this year. You see the final 4 minutes of the game or overtime coaches can't challenge, so it's at the sole discretion of the officials. Goal is good. Big cheer of elation from the Georgetown bench. They're back on top.
You don't win games like this by stalling your way to victory. You got to keep pushing. Within the confines of the shot clock, score again. Extend your lead. Now's not the time to slow it down.
Wally Halpert picks up the ground ball. Coach Ward wants a timeout. Coach Corrigan defensively, you saw him there with his defensive coordinator, Ryan Wellner. Bundy's just going to hang on to it, and it looks like Georgetown's going to set something up here. 6v6 with the entire shot clock at their disposal. They'll start it with Krogan. Verdaro on the far side.
A lot of experience. Alexander Vardaro with the ball.
Wants to get a pick. Defender slips it.
Do it again.
Behind to Krogan again. Will they work a two-man game? Verdaro's coming upfield. Krogan wants to attack from X. Ray now back behind to Krogan, who's inverted. Verdaro. 15 to shoot. Irish giving him nothing.
Nice D by Parlett, 21 in white.
Haley's defender falls down. Verdaro, save made by Entman. The whistle blows, though, just at the moment. And it's going to go against Georgetown. Fourth save this quarter alone for Entman. That was a big one, although the whistle may have been beforehand anyway. Now let's see what Notre Dame wants to do here. Does Coach Corrigan want to call a timeout? He's got 2 in the bank. Or will he decide to let his team, a very experienced team, play on? Down a goal in the final minute and a half here from South Bend. Chris Kavanaugh. Back to his right. Being defended very well. That's Jack Leary on him. Leary not giving him an inch. Final minute of play and 30 seconds to shoot for the Irish. Pat Kavanaugh. Now the timeout comes with 21 seconds to shoot. Corrigan wants to talk things over to try and find a way to get that equalizer.
Georgetown's clamped down on them as Dodgers today. So assess the matchups out of a timeout. Do they agree with what Coach dialed up on the bench?
Pat Kavanaugh will set things up. Down the alley, spins back upfield, shoots, scores! Well, it took him 59 plus minutes, Q. He finally found the back of the net. We're all knotted up at 10.
And Corrigan stays with his bread and butter. Pick, down to goal line, extended, and then back. Whoop, right there, change of direction, step away, he's running upfield. And I think he painted the inside high corner. Watch it again. Fadeaway, snapshot. It was Matty Ice for the PLL championship. This is Patty Ice to tie it.
The legend, the Kavanaugh legend, continues to grow. Now with 39 seconds left, a huge face-off. Lynch wins it. Back to Napolitano. Notre Dame still with a timeout on the board. Lynch needs to get it to Dobson and does. Dobson now will get the timeout as he carries the ball into the restraining box. 21 seconds. Dobson will put it in play on the near side.
Because this team does have options. It looks like they want to run Dobson off a pick.
McLean wants to set the pick. Now he slides off. Dobson from up top, 15 seconds. Inside. Banks with a nice job. We got a loose ball hole. It's going to go against Notre Dame. Can Georgetown get a shot off? The ball is loose in front.
Oh, that's got to be a loose ball push.
No, didn't get the flag. Instead, you get the horn, and it's overtime.
The defense.
What a dangerous play in front with that ball right in front. You can see Entenmann, should I come out and try and get the ball or not?
I like the aggressive shot or long pass, and then it's just total anarchy. Notre Dame defense taking liberties. The officials not wanting to make a call late in regulation there, and it was just a crazy scramble. Watch this again. You tell me this contact is legal right there. It's a little bit.
This is
going to let that go. No, that's a stick. That's a stick check. That my fault. You talk about strength. Sean Light just yanks the offensive player down. So good officiating there. It looked worse in real time.
Wow. All right, we're at overtime here. Number one team in the country. That number one ranking is on the line. In Georgetown, their ascension continues. This is not the same team we saw open the season against Loyola 3 weeks ago. I mean, this is...
Next goal wins.
Take a look at our overtime rules. To your point, sudden victory. 4-minute periods until one team scores. We'll have an intermission if nobody scores in the first 4-minute period, and then reset the timeouts, one apiece for each coach. Last overtime games for both these two teams.
Fans circling the field on the far side.
Look at Riley battling for that loose ball, as are the wings. Lynch comes out of there with it. Wasn't the clamp, but the hustle that won on that face-off. And a timeout by the Irish.
Tell you, there was a moment in that scramble where the Georgetown player just lost the ball for a second. That's such a great teaching point. That will happen, but number one rule of the game is keep your eye on the ball. Right here.
Halpert just couldn't find it. He was up in the air.
Couldn't find it.
Looking up into the sun, too. Look at the shadows. So Halpert looks back right into the sun.
And the ball kicks up awkwardly. You're not expecting it to flip in the air like that. He makes a really strong effort. And Lynch is the hero.
Now the Hoyas drawing something up defensively to try and stop this offense that has come to life here in the fourth quarter. Aided by 3 man-up goals to kind of get them going, get both the Kavanaughs going. That certainly helped. And then the last 2 Georgetown defensive possessions. Ty Banks, the freshman, beaten by Pat Kavanaugh in the first one, made a great play in that final possession in regulation to prevent the game-winning goal then. Does he have another big play in him this time down in overtime?
Looks like it's going to be Pat Kavanaugh.
It'll be Kavanaugh with Banks checking him. Kavanaugh trying to come off a pick. Now he's got the big little.
Got the switch.
Got
Georgetown's going to have to double early.
Spins back upfield to the middle. Back to his left. The double comes. Now Georgetown's got the pole on him. Dobson with his left bouncer. Face-on backs it up. Inside, over the back. McLean
Don't love that shot.
couldn't get it to go. Really tough angle. 3 minutes.
Let's go! Come on!
Clock.
Just get it across. Over and back, not called. .50 seconds. Will Georgetown call their timeout? Kevin Warren resisting it, at least to this point. Haley. Gets it to Krogan. Here's Bundy. Haley continuing to look. Carroll. Shoots, scores the game winner for the Hoyas! And Georgetown has upset the #1 team in the country, and Kevin Warren does a somersault in sheer delight. The captain, Aiden Carroll, completes a hat-trick cue with the game winner on the road. A Georgetown team that got housed in the opener, embarrassed at Loyola, has bounced back 3 weeks later to upset the #1 team in the country on their home field.
They had a plan. They played with incredible discipline and structure, ragging the clock, being opportunistic on offense. The defense and goaltending, outstanding. And in overtime, you take the defender to the island. Watch how hesitant Notre Dame is here to double team. They leave Ramsey, and no one wants to help him. Nobody wants to go. And he gets to the middle of the field to his strong right hand, posts up, and beats Entenmann with an offside hip. A gem. Game.
There's Kevin Warren. Back somersault for Warren.
He should be breakdancing with that outfit on.
Beautiful. The Irish will look to